Hey, what's happening, sports fans? Ryan Kostrowski here with the DFS 5-pack. Hopefully your Saturday night is off to a great start. It's over at this point. Hopefully you had a great Saturday. Sunday is now upon us. It's time to talk about NBA DFS, guys. I got a bad feeling. This is our last two-game slate of the year, I think, which means we got nothing but showdowns coming up. Although, you know what? Now that I think about that, maybe they'll give us some two-game slates where they stagger it back and forth. So maybe we're not done. All right, actually, I just re-excited myself because I'm loving these two-game slates on DraftKings for the playoffs. I love NBA playoffs, DFS, so it's good to think that we might have a little bit left. So gun to head, guys, I'm taking the home teams tomorrow. If given the opportunity, I bet on players from the home teams. First off, I just think Denver's better than Portland, and I think Toronto's a little better than Philly. Not saying these other teams couldn't win, but if given the opportunity to choose between the two of them, that's where I'm going to end up. If you guys want day passes, they are up. I know Matt's dropped public MLB already. We'll have members only out in a little bit as well. If you guys are interested, come get them. All the pricing is up there. Day passes, you guys know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. We're coming up on 10K. Please help us get there. Thumbs up is appreciated. And where are we going for our plays today, guys? So I'm going to start with Kawhi Leonard. There's arguments for Giannis, KD prior to the injury, whatever you want, but Kawhi has played, if not as well as anybody, damn near as well as anybody throughout this playoffs. We get a closeout game at home, Game 7. If you saw First Take the other day or caught the scuttlebutt on the internet, Max Kellerman talking about Kawhi Leonard being more clutch than Kobe Bryant. It's an interesting discussion. I'm sure most of you are going to side with Kobe, and I absolutely understand it. Either way, we can't deny the fact that Kawhi is a big moment type of player. We've seen that through his brief career. I expect him to be excellent tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching this. He's been really good throughout the series. He's averaging over 55 DK points. Game 7 in Toronto. Kawhi is just going to go out there and do Kawhi type of things. Next up, Paul Millsap. So I'm going to be pretty heavy on the home teams, as I already mentioned. And Paul Millsap is one of the guys I would be targeting from the Denver Nuggets, coming off of a 4-15 shooting night where the ball just wasn't bouncing in. I hate to break down NBA so simplistically, but you hear people say it all the time. It's a make or miss league. He just wasn't making his shots the other day. Shit happens. It happens all the time. You guys have played basketball. You know how it goes. Obviously, we haven't played at the professional level like Paul Millsap, but you understand. Someday the ball just goes in and out over and over again. He's got 30-plus in every game this series. We've talked about this repeatedly. Portland just doesn't have the size to stop him at the 4. I like Denver in this game. No size to get him. It's just a very simplistic play, cog in the machine, as you want to call it. Expect the veteran presence of Paul Millsap, who has significantly more playoff experience than anybody. What's the best way to phrase this? Anybody on the Denver Nuggets. Expect him just to be, we talked about this with Jimmy Butler the other day. Paul Millsap's the adult in the room. He's the old guy. He's been there and done this. I love me some Jokic and a couple other guys we're about to talk to, but expect Paul Millsap to go out there and just do his thing. Speaking of guys from Denver I love, I've been a Murray fan for a while, but how can you not become a bigger Murray fan watching him throughout the playoffs so far? I feel like I've brought him up almost every slate he's been on because I keep playing him. One of the key things I like, he played 46 minutes the other day in the loss. He's going to play big minutes tomorrow. Win or go home, guys. You play your best players. This is a budding superstar, not a star, a budding superstar in my opinion. The 1-2 punch of Jokic and Murray should be a thing for Denver for quite some time. Dude's got 40-plus DK points in 5 to 6 games this series. The only time he didn't, he experienced, we won't call it significant because he didn't miss any time, but it was a bad injury when he got it, and that was the reason he only scored 27 DK points that day. He just didn't have it in the fourth quarter. His thigh was killing him. And if you go down and break it down, he's only like less than, I think, a handful of DK points short of Damian Lillard. And even though Lillard is priced way down, and I understand why somebody would want that cheap price on him, I'm not shocked at all if Jamal Murray ties or surpasses Damian Lillard tomorrow. So give me the home team here, and I expect good things from Jamal Murray, who's really just, this guy's clutch too. I'm a big fan of this player. All right, so we broke down this slate a couple days ago. It's almost the exact same thing, only the home teams are reversed. And we just don't have the cap space, guys. I was all over Hood and Collins, as you guys remember last time out. They were excellent. Glad it worked out. It's not always going to work out that well. Got to chalk up a little good luck every once in a while. Those guys are seriously priced up now, and they're no longer the home team in this situation. If you're desperate for cap space, look at Mason Plumlee. As much as I love Paul Millsap and Jokic tomorrow, they're going to need to be spelled for a few minutes here and there, and that's where I might be taking a look at Mason Plumlee for 3,200. Cap space is at a premium. I cannot stress that enough to get the guys that are the most advantageous to have on your roster in the specific slate. So every cheap guy you can find is going to help. Plumlee's 3,200. His scores at home in this series all range between 17.75 and 26.5. He's been significantly better at home. Guy I see on Twitter every once in a while, Big Bear DFS pointed this out the other day, if you caught that. Role players at home in the playoffs tend to score better. That's what Mason Plumlee is, a role player at home, game 7, beating his old team. Look for him to give you some of those hustle points in his 15 minutes or so he gets on the court. All right, guys, that's what I got. Best of luck. Let's go win ourselves that money tomorrow. Have a wonderful Mother's Day for the few mothers who might be listening. Make sure you call your moms, guys. Have a good one.